guys, so this is day 3 of the Random Magic Tour, and today I'll be doing 2 videos for the tour. The first is this video, and the second will be coming later on today. This is a review for the book Random Magic by Sasha Soren, and I was sent this book by the author. Thank you so much for sending this and the package. It's one of the most coolest and thoughtful packages I've ever gotten from someone, so thank you so much for that. So without further ado, let's get into this book review. So this book starts off with Professor Random, very appropriately named because he is seriously very random. And he misplaces Alice from Alice in Wonderland. He loses her, and because he's old and because he can't keep up with all the adventures and with all the fast-pacedness of things, he decides to choose a boy named Henry Witherspoon, and he sends Henry Witherspoon to go and find Alice and return her to her book before chaos theory occurs and the whole world vanishes and disappears, and then that's bad, isn't it? Yes, it is. But because Professor Random is quite random, and because he's not very, it's not all there, because he did lose Alice, he puts Henry in the wrong book. I know, right? He puts Henry in the wrong book, and so Henry is in this wrong book, and he meets this doodle witch named Winnie Flapjack, and they go on this adventure. They go to find Alice before the time runs out, and they have to do all these things before tea time, and they meet all these like amazing creatures and things and people along the way. So this is a very fantastical, it's a fantasy book, it's magical, it's like written down on Goodreads as a young adult book. I wouldn't really say it was a young adult book. I'm not sure what it is. It's maybe not for children because the language in it is quite grown up, and it's for, I would say it's for random people, for people who like the crazy different kind of books, the random books, the different books. Lots of magic in this book. If you like magic, I'm pretty sure you will like this because there's lots of magic in this book, so yeah, it's for those people, for you. If you're one of those people, you should read this book. I will say though that it's not the book, for me at least, and for other people that I've heard have read this book have said this as well, it's not a book that you can read at once, like all together. You definitely need to read it like in bits and pieces because it's just, you can't read it all together. It's just too much random all at once. And another thing I want to say is that if you get the book and you start to read it, I would definitely say to power through the start. For me specifically, I don't know if it's for other people as well, but for me it was pretty hard to get through. I didn't like the start, and it's definitely also a book that you need to kind of sink into the language and into the world, so you need to give it time. So I would definitely say to power through the start of the book. So my favorite things about this book was just the vividness and the way that everything was described. Everything was described so well. You could definitely see everything that happened, all the adventures, all the creatures, all the things, all the people. You could really see them, and just the scene was just set so wonderfully, and the scene was just amazing. Like, it was so different, so cool, so random, so magical. Like, the magic, and it was so different, so magical, and it was so well shown to me in this book. And I really liked that. The other thing I really liked about this book was that it's really, really unique. It's really different. It's not like anything I've ever read before. It's such a unique, different book, and I really like that because I've been reading kind of the same books lately, and this was such a breath of fresh air because it was so different and so random. My least favorite things about this book, now this is gonna kind of be like the same as my favorite things, it's kind of the flip side, the bad parts of the good parts kind of thing, if that makes sense. So I said that the book was really random and really different. However, the flip side to that was that it was a little bit too random. The plot was a bit not there in this book. There was a plot, obviously, they go and find Alice, but that's not really where this really diverges. Like, it's okay to like diverge a little bit and then come back and go back out and stuff, but the plot was definitely like not important really in this book. This book is not a plot-driven book. It's not really a character-driven book either. It's not like a deep thought-driven book either. I'm pretty sure that this is a random-driven book. It's just driven by randomness, driven by stories. The different adventures that happen are definitely the most important part, and the adventure that's happening at that moment is like the main focus. There's an undercurrent plot, but it's not as important as the stories themselves. The other thing I really didn't like about this book was the writing style. As I said, it was really hard to get into this book because of the writing style, and I couldn't read it for long periods of time as well because of the writing style. I kind of feel like there was lots of descriptions of things, but sometimes, like I said, everything was described really well, but sometimes these things that didn't matter at all would be given like 2 or 3 lines that would be described really, really well, but they didn't need to be, and it would happen a lot, and so I kind of felt like it was just taking away from the story, like switching my focus from here to there, like when I could have just been focusing on the story itself. So this is a very magical, very random, very different, and very, very unique book. I'm saying very a lot there. And I would definitely recommend this book to you. I did give it 3 out of 5, but that's just because of the writing style. It's a little bit hard to get into, but once you get into it, you definitely, you sink into it and you can get through the book, but you do need to, read it in little chunks. You can't read it all together or for a very long time. So that's why I'm giving it 3 out of 5. I did really enjoy this book, and I would definitely recommend it to you. And if you get it, I would say to read like a little bit of it, like an adventure, like a little small snippet or part of an adventure, and then put it down, and then read another adventure, and get through the book like that. Because it's much better, and it's a better reading experience if you do it that way. So yeah, this was just such a different book, and I really liked reading something very different from what I've been reading recently. So I recommend this to you, and I hope that you have enjoyed this book review. And so this giveaway is going to be running until the 31st of December, and you could win a first edition copy of Random Magic. You will also win a soft plushie toy, a Alice in Wonderland toy, and also a Alice Through the Looking Glass DVD. Why did I say glass? Like glass. Alice Through the Looking Glass DVD. So yeah, all you need for this giveaway is to comment in the comment section below anything you want to, like this video, and also to enter you need to know the answer to this question that I will be telling you the answer to. The question is, if I could keep anything from the world of Random Magic, what would it be? And the thing that I think that I would keep from the world of Random Magic, or give or keep as a gift or whatever, would be probably the compass, because I think it's very important, and yeah, so that's the thing that I would keep. I will leave a link in the description box below for you where you can enter, and all you need is that answer that I just gave you. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you watch my next video, which will be coming out really soon. And yeah, that was my first video in the Random Magic tour. I hope you enjoyed this tour, and I will see you next time. Bye!